I need a raise. And I'm not talking about the kind of raise that'll break the bank, but there's so much money rolling around and I just can't seem to get my hands on any of it. What do I got to do to get my hands on some of it? Now, I'll admit, when I was younger, this did not matter. This is young me. And as long as I had enough money to hang with the fellas, order a couple of pizzas, and we can watch the game, then I was rich. Life is good. But fast forward and life's a little different. This is me. And I know what you're thinking. I look a little different. But 10 years on a job, working long, countless hours would do this to you. It'll make you look a little different. But I'm a company man now, as you can see. Working hard for the company. And why am I doing this? Bills. Yep, I got bills. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And with inflation happening now, these bills have gone up in price. So I need more money. I need a raise. I need to have more money flowing in. So I got this idea. Who can help me with that? My boss can. Meet my boss. This is Randy. And as you can see, Randy is helping himself to find the bottom of this glass. So I got the bright idea. I said I'm going to go to my boss and I'm going to put a proposal together that features all of the things that I've been doing for the company over the last 2 years. I've helped bring in countless amount of dollars for the company when it comes down to sales. And I spell all of this out when it comes to bringing in new clients, but also helping improve the bottom line of the business. I'm diligent. I've been with the company for over a decade. There's no way they can tell me no. And what happens? Randy tells me no. He gives me the report back and says, hey, although you've been able to help the company, right now we're not able to do raises, and the metrics that you hit, although they were helpful, we're not going to be able to give you a raise. And I tell him, I spell everything out. I've done all of these things. What do I have to do to be able to get a raise? It's not making any sense. Do I got to be a singer in order to get a raise? I need a raise. Welcome back. Oh, I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to see you because I took a look at these tips we've been talking about. And I know why you all have been applying them. I'm like, okay, what kind of savings? What are we looking at? So I got in the lab and I started doing some research to figure out if you apply these things, how much would you save? Because any money you're able to save is money that you're able to have financially for yourself. When I did the numbers, I got excited. I got excited for you because if you apply these things, you're going to be able to give yourself a raise without having to work more. No, you're not going to have to put in additional hours at work. You're not going to have to work overtime. You're not going to have to get a second job. Neither of those things, but you're still going to walk away with a raise. Yeah. So how much of a raise? I'm glad you asked because we're going to get into that right now. Listen, now we've been doing some talking about ways you can beat this broke cousin I like to call inflation. And so I gave you some tips, some things that you can apply. But I took a look at what I said, and I actually started running some numbers. These aren't just like tips and things. What this has become now is a way to give yourself a raise. Yes, to give yourself a raise. And the better you're able to apply this, the bigger the raise. Let's get into it. So I told you, one of the first things I told you about was the importance of doing the gas rewards, the fuel rewards, right? So for myself, I save on average, I'll say about 7 cents, all right? It's in between 5 and 10 cents. It's more towards the 10, but other times it's 5. So let's say conservatively 7 cents, okay? Now I know people who are saving like 20 cents, 25 cents a gallon. I bet you're like, who are them people? And they doing something different, but I'm keeping these numbers conservative. That way they give you a really clear indication of just how much you will be able to save. So let's look at the fuel rewards. So let's say you get 15 gallons of gas a week. You save 7 cents per gallon. I did the calculations for that, and that came up to be $55. Let's look at the math. Me. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be calculating for the guy. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be calculating. You all bear with me. Bear with me. What did he say? He said, what did he say? 7 cents? Yeah, my bad. 7 cents a gallon, 15 gallons. That's $1.05 times 52. Oh, my bad. $55. Yeah. You're going to say $55 a year. Now, for some of you, like, no, that's $54.60. I tell you what, I'll send you 40 cents, and now you're whole. You're not, but only for like 10 of you all. I'm not giving everybody 40 cents. No, I'm not giving everybody 40 cents. So it's $55 a year in savings utilizing this fuel rewards. And if you get the conservative number of, on average, 7 cents in savings per gallon of gas. Now let's keep going. Now let's take a look at the one I really enjoy. I call it the off season. That's buying the clothes for the next season. Like in the off season, buying these clothes so that way you can use them in the next season. Let's say that your clothing budget is around $1,200 a year. Now, for some of y'all, you're like, man, I spent $1,200 on the shirt. What are you talking about? But I'm talking about for some of those who, if your clothing budget, let's say in a year, was $1,200, but you utilize this off-season shopping. And as a result, you bought the same clothes that you would buy, but you bought them at the discount. And let's say instead of $1,200, you was able to move it down to $700. $700. $1,200 budget for clothes a year? Like that? Okay. No, is that what he said? But he said it's gonna move down to 700. Okay, 700. So let me do the calculations real quick. Yeah, I can really do it on the top of the head, but I just want y'all to think. It gives you some time to calculate too. 500. That's $500 in savings. Okay, that looks pretty good. That would be a savings of $500. Okay, that's $500 in savings. So let's add that to it. We got $500 and $55 just by utilizing those two things. So as you can see, we own to something here. That's a big savings. That's a big savings. Now let's move to family reunion. Oh, I love this one because see, everybody has some kind of family. You got somebody you're close to, some people who have the same kind of things that you have. When I say things, I'm talking about subscriptions, a phone, a cell phone. Like everybody has this, right? So by getting on the same plan, especially starting off with the phone plan, I like to say start there because you can save, in my opinion, the bulk of the money by getting on the same phone plan. Let's say you save $20 a month, okay? That's $20 a month. And let's say you have another subscription-based service, whether that may be a streaming service or a music service, and you get on the family plan on that and you're able to save $5. Now, I'm only discussing here 2 subscription savings, okay? But you got more. You probably got movies, you got music, you got Prime, you got all of these kind of things. So if you got more and you do more, then your numbers are going to be even better, okay? But for this purpose, I'm going to only go with 2. So that's $25 a month in savings. What does that look like? All right, that's $25 in savings times 12, and that gives us $300. So that's $300 in savings. So where we at? We $55, $500, $300. We're at $855 already, but we're not done. We are not done. The next one we talked about was the bulk buying. And when I mentioned bulk buying, remember I said bulk buying when it comes down to restaurants, when it also comes down to the groceries and the items that you need from these stores, then you do bulk buying. So let's say when you do bulk buying, you're able to save in a year $350. Now, I don't believe that is just so enormous. Matter of fact, I think that's very conservative because let's look at this. Let's think about this for a moment. To save $350 a year during bulk buying means that you only saved about $29 a month. So if you're able to buy your items in bulk, don't you think that you will probably save in a month maybe $29, okay? If you came in with people and y'all say, hey, I'm gonna buy this, you get this, all right, we're gonna split the cost. Hey, I wanna go out to eat at the restaurant instead of me having to go out and I'm spending $20 or $25 a plate for myself. Now I'm only spending about $12. Just by those 2 restaurant visits alone, you're saving about the $29. So it's very, very conservative, but I wanted to do it just to show you the minimum of how much that you're able to save. I like to call make. So that is $350. So we're adding things up now. So we're already at $1,205 in savings, $1,205 in savings, just by utilizing these 4, just these 4. But let's say we go ahead and say, listen, we are going to use all of these and you do the final one. And that is going to those grocery stores and understanding the cycle, the flow of when these items are on sale. Let's say you do this and you are able to buy the items that you usually would buy, but you're able to now buy them on sale because you bought them at the right time. And let's say by doing that, you're able to save $200 in a year, $200 in a year. That's around $16 or so a month. Now, I believe you can do better than that. But for conservative purposes, let's say you do the 16. Where are we at now? We are at $1,405. Yep. That's $1,405. And if the average person makes $37,000 a year, and by utilizing these methods, they're able to save $1,405, what does that look like? I tell you what it looks like. It looks like a raise. Yeah, a raise in the tune of 3.8%. Let's just round it up and say 4%. That is a 4% raise. And you didn't have to work any extra hours. You didn't have to get any overtime. You didn't have to get a raise, particularly on your job. You made it happen because you took these items and applied it, and now you got a 4% raise. No, like that's just how big these 5 hacks, these 5 tips are, and how by applying these things, the impact that you will be able to have. Now think about it. If you're able to get a 4% raise, what would you do with the money? Like what are some of the things you can do? You open up all kind of opportunities. Now let's say that you was even better than that. Let's say you said, hey, listen, I saved more than that. Then you would have even more of a savings. And if you do even better, then the raise increases. So the more you apply these principles, the more you get better at utilizing these tips, the higher your raise is. But I want to hear from you. Tell me about it. Put it in the comments. Tell me, how much are you saving? What kind of raise did you calculate for yourself? I'm ready to hear it. On those windy days, you gotta keep your lips moisturized. You be on the camera doing the videos, and they'll be like, man, did he not know how he was looking before he got ready to get on the camera? It's like he's gonna have to get him a crew together or something. I thought he said he had a team. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff people say. Welcome. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for watching this video. I want to say, I hope that it is helpful for you, that it helps you financially, and I want to hear about it. Put it in the comments. I mentioned about a 4% raise, all right? But for some, you may do even more. Even if your raise is only 3%, that's still good. Any amount that you're able to save, like I like to call make, as a better financial situation that you're able to have for yourself. So put it in the comments. I want to hear about it. But also make sure you like, that you subscribe to the video, but more importantly, you apply this information. I can't wait to see you on the next one. I'm gonna get out of here. The levels is good. The angles is right, welcome, wind. You wanna get into this scene? I'm joking. Okay. 5 seconds for the wind. Let the wind come. Okay, wow, I said that, you really came in, okay. Well, thank you. Kind of blew something in my eye. We're gonna continue to record. That's not funny. I said 5 seconds. We're already at 30. We're already at 30 seconds.